Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to cover expository writing, and I will be giving you various examples of expository writing and also explanation of what is expository writing and when do you can write in expository form. So let's start. So first of all, what is definition of expository writing? Expository writing is non-fiction writing that aims to inform, explain, describe, or define a topic to the reader. So it means that the purpose of writing expository writing is just to give information or to explain something or to describe something. अब इसके अंदर persuasion नहीं आती. Your purpose is not to persuade. Your purpose is just to inform, just to explain, just to define to the reader, right? So here, first of all, you have to be very clear about the purpose of writing. The purpose is not to explain. The purpose is not to persuade. The purpose is not to argument. Purpose is just to explain, to inform, to describe, or to define, right? So यहाँ पे हम clear हैं कि the expository writing is just to give information. It's just to describe something, to explain something. Now, there are different types of writing that can be expository writing, in which number one can be compare and contrast. So when you are drawing comparison between two things, or you are drawing a contrast means something that is not the same. When you are drawing the dissimilarities or differences between the two subject, that is contrast. Second is definition. When you just give definition, for example, आपके पास कोई topic है that is technical in nature and that is a concept that your readers, your audience, they are not familiar with. So what you can do, you can go for definition. You just define it and then you give examples, major details, minor details that we covered in our previous lecture. Okay, how do you actually write a paragraph? ठीक है, तो उसको देखने के लिए आपको भी प्रीवियस लेक्चर देखना पड़ेगा, तो यू वुड नो के टॉपिक सेंटेंस क्या है, मेजर माइनर डिटेल क्या है, एक पैराग्राफ लिखते हैं हम कैसे हैं. अच्छा, उसके बाद है क्लासिफिकेशन. क्लासिफिकेशन इज व्हेन यू क्लासिफाई something that is similar into a group. For example, I would say okay, this class is, in this class 10 students are boys, 10 students are girls. Girls are together are very good in sports, boys together are very good in, let's suppose, bodybuilding. So that what we are doing, we're classifying something on the basis of similarities. Okay, this can also be an expository writing. Then we have problem solution. When you're just defining a problem, so something has occurred and then we are giving a solution to that problem. This is another type of expository writing. And then we have process. When you are telling a process and you are going to get any end product. So process होता है कि आपने कोई process बताया, जैसे tea making process or any the evaporation process in which at the end you get certain result or you get certain product. ठीक है, तो ये सब expository writing हो सकती है. अब हम one by one examples देखते हैं expository writing की. So if you would see, यहाँ पे this is a example of a paragraph where I have used question as a reader soup. Now, what is reader soup? What is questioning technique? We have covered that in our previous lecture. So if you haven't gone through that, तो आपको वो lecture देखना पड़ेगा in order to know कि reader soup क्या होते हैं और हम क्यों use करते हैं when we write a paragraph. So questioning technique here we are using. So we started off with a question. Have you ever tried to explain a complex topic to someone and wish you had a clear method to do so? So we started off with a question. Expository writing is a fundamental form of communication that helps writers clearly explain and inform readers about specific topics. So this is the main idea, the topic sentence. So expository writing पे ही मैंने example लिखी है ताकि you would clear कि what is expository writing and how we go about it. This writing style employs various techniques like detailed descriptions, factual evidences, and logical organization to make information accessible. Writers use statistics, expert opinions, and real-world examples to support their explanations. Additionally, they often include visual aids, structured outlines, and clear transitions to enhance understanding. Supporting details might include definitions, comparisons, step-by-step breakdowns of processes, Through this systematic approach to explaining information, expository writing serves as an essential tool for education, technical documentation, and everyday communication. If you would look at the structure of this paragraph, so I started off with a reader so then I have a topic sentence. That is, the topic is expository writing and how it helps us in explaining or informing readers about specific topic is controlling idea. After that, we have major details, we have minor details, and at the end, we are just summarizing what we have written above in a conclusion. So this is the writing of one structured paragraph. And because we're just giving information here, so this is expository writing that we are doing over here. So now let's move to the next slide in which I will give you examples of each type of expository writing. अगर यहाँ पे आपको कुछ clear नहीं हुआ तो you can tell me in comments. I will be guiding in another lecture कि हम इसको further clarify कर देंगे. Okay, so the first type that I'm going to discuss is comparison and contrast. When you draw comparison between two subjects. अच्छा मैंने आपको पहले बताया था कि comparison and contrast में हमेशा two subjects होते हैं because you are drawing comparison between two or more than that. So here I have taken the topic, cheetahs and leopards, and I will tell you what is the actually we are going to talk about in the topic. So the hook, the reader's hook that I used here is startling information. As we have discussed in our previous lecture, startling information is that when you give shocking information at the start. In the animal kingdom, cheetahs and leopards are often mistaken for each other, despite having vastly different characteristics that set them apart, right? So this is my startling information. Because these two are different, very different, but they are mistaken for each other. So this is something shocking that they are two different. How come they are mistaken for each other? These two big cats exhibit distinct features and behaviors that make them unique in their own ways. This is the main idea, the main central idea that I am going to discuss in this paragraph. Cheetahs, known for their speed, have a lighter build, specialized lung capacity, and known retractable claws for better traction. Their spotted pot patterns are simple dots, while leopards display more complex rosin. So मैंने आपको बताया था कि when we are writing a compare and contrast paragraph, तो दोनों जो हैं वो discuss होते हैं in each major details. So you have to be telling about cheetah as well as about leopard. So here, because we have two topics, cheetah and leopard. So in every major detail, we are discussing cheetah as well as leopard. How cheetah, what cheetah is and how leopard is different from cheetah, because our main idea is telling about the differences between the two topics. So in terms of hunting style now, hunting style is the major detail, and cheetahs chase prey in open areas during daylight, whereas leopards prefer ambush tactics from preset night. How they are different in terms of their hunting style. So hunting styles is major detail here, or how they are different. जो further example है, explanation है, these are minor details. Or these both are linked with my main idea of this topic, that is that both exhibits different features and behaviors. Right. So in previous lecture, I told you about how to write one paragraph. So आप वो देख लीजिएगा, तो you would have clarity कि किस तरह से ये paragraphs बनाए गए हैं. You know, the structure of writing one paragraph would be very clear to you. And at the end, it's a conclusion. So here you would say we are writing compare and contrast informative paragraph just to give information. So this is one example of expository compare and contrast writing. Then moving towards second type, that is definition. So definition is another example of writing an expository paragraph. So we start with a simple definition. Democracy is not just a right to vote, it's a right to live in dignity, stated claim, capturing the sense of this complex system of governance. Here we use the hook quotation. And as I've told you earlier, quotation is always in inverted commas because we're quoting something as it is. उसके बाद I'm just giving information because it's an expository writing, so our tone will be very neutral, unbiased. Democracy represents a form of government where power ultimately resides with the people, exercised through various mechanisms and institutions. This is our main idea. The system operates through three main pillars, our major details, and then the old pillars one by one is our minor details, and at the end is our conclusion. So let's read the paragraph. The system operates through three main pillars: free and fair elections, protection of individual rights, and the rule of law. Citizens participate directly in decision making through voting, public discourse, and civic engagement. Local governments implement policies while maintaining transparency and accountability to their constituents. Community organizations and grassroots movements play a crucial role in shaping public opinion and policy. Through these interconnecting elements, democracy continues to evolve as a living system of governance that strives to represent the will of the people. So here we are just giving information. You will not see any persuasive word, any adjective, or the hard word that is influencing the thought process of your reader. So it is just merely to give information that is another type of expository writing, that is the definition and explanation of any topic. Then another type is classification. Here, the technique that I used is funnel technique. For what is funnel technique, you have to be looking at the previous lecture. Literature has been a cornerstone of human expression since ancient times, evolving into distinct genre that cater to different tastes and purposes. Literary genre can be classified into three major categories based on their primary characteristics and storytelling approaches. Fiction encompasses imaginative narratives like novels, short stories, and fantasy, allowing authors to create entirely new worlds and characters. Nonfiction focuses on factual content such as biographies, historical accounts, and academic text, providing readers with real world information and analysis. Poetry, the third category, uses rhythmic language and metaphorical expressions to convey emotional ideas. So here you would see that we have classified three literary genre into three major categories. So these are the classification of three major categories. So major category wala jo sentence tha, that is our main idea, the topic sentence of the paragraph. And then हमने one by one तीनों को बताया कि this one is this one is that, and this one is different. So this is the classification of format of writing a paragraph. And then at the end, we will conclude all three. That these classification help readers and writers understand the various ways stories can be told and information can be shared through the written word. So we're just summarizing what we have written above in conclusion. So as I told you earlier, कि conclusion में हम कोई नई information add नहीं करते. We just summarize what we have written above. Another example is problem solution. Here the hook, very popular hook because we're telling a problem, and anecdote is a hook that we use when we tell something serious and when we want to have some connectivity with audience. So when Sarah discovered her garden overrun with invasive species last spring, she faced a common problem that plagues many home gardeners: invasive plant species. Pose a significant threat. So invasive plant species is a topic here. Pose a significant threat to residential gardens by competing with native plants or for resources and disrupting local ecosystem is our main idea, as the author's opinion. And we will call this sentence a topic sentence. And after that, we have our major details. These aggressive plants spread rapidly through various means, including wind dispersal, underground root system, and bird-carried seeds. The most effective solution involves a comprehensive approach combining manual removal, natural barriers, and native plant introduction. Gardeners should begin by identifying invasive species early in their growth cycle. Regular monitoring and maintenance help prevent reestablishment of unwanted plants. Solution आ गया उसका. Through consistent application of these methods, gardens can be restored to healthy, balanced ecosystem that support local biodiversity. So we are just summarizing what we have written above. So this is a problem solution way of writing. So that's it. That's all for today. So if you are unable to understand any type of expository writing, you can tell me. Thank you very much for joining us today. Allah Hafiz. Take care.